Okay, just an update. I don't know if you can tell, but this is underneath a tree where there isn't a lot of sun. It's very shaded. So this here is my Pacific iris that I saved. This here is, I just placed them here underneath the sun, underneath the tree here, and I'm basically watering my cuttings that I just started. These here are my orchids. I don't know if you can see it. I might need to move the camera. That I propagate and planting it outside of a clay pot. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, let me move it closer. So, clay pot, where? Well, on top of the clay pot is my monkey tail. My monkey tail that I try to propagate and just give him some water and put him aside here. But this here are my orchid, and every day I come out here and I give the orchid a little bit of water using my hand, because the moisture, as you can see in the pot here, though it's very wet, the moisture is amazing. But I also wanted to give the orchid additional water from the exterior, and the root of the orchid are all like explode, which means that there is no root bound. There's no root inside of the pot. If you look at my other video, I basically taped and tied the orchid on the outside of the vase of the my clay pot. And this is how I am watering. So I grew nothing. I have not started any seedlings or anything in the clay pot. So I keep it very moist, and I just put like cuttings or pots on top of it. Because it is empty space. And generally I like to keep all my stuff together so I can check and look at it to see which one needs help, which one's it's growing, which one's not doing good. And this is my mango seed that when I water, it's I keep the mango seed like close to the surface area, is because I like to dig them out and see if it's actually going to grow. In a way, I'm a little bit impatient with my stuff. I like to see results. I like to see results and the progress of the seeds. So So this is where I keep all my seedlings, all my rooting, all my propagations, and etc. And that way I can keep them water at the same time. So this one is a red one. It's either red or pink. It's actually also Epiepium plant that I propagate and rooted. This was given to me by someone else. And it's actually starting, I think it start to take roots, and it's doing great. It has not died on me yet. I don't know, it's even trying to start multiplying or whatnot. So that's that. And my rooting of my Christmas cactus flower, I had taken up a snip and I put it in soil. I keep it water and moist and away from the sun, and it's doing fantastic. And this one is actually incredibly see a root right here coming out. This is when I was propagating the string of pearl, and I do it in a jar container because it needs to be moist. And as you can see, it's still alive. So once all of these takes place, I will have a lot to plant, lots of plant. And here's my other string of pearls. It's still alive. It's still doing great. This one here is my basil that I rooted, and is doing great and is alive. See, it's still green. And I just needed to place it in a bigger pot. This here is the Chinese lantern flower that I rooted. I think I have red and yellow, and I put it in here, and it's green. It's green, still green, and this one even have a tiny leaves coming out. So that is doing great. My orchid is still alive and is still green. It hasn't died yet, and it's been a week. It's been a week since it's been 1 week since I propagated, and I don't know. It looks good. It looks promising. It looks like it's gonna live. So after I water my stuff, I like to check the moisture. So I kind of like pat it down a little bit to see if I give them enough water. If not, I'm just gonna, because I don't water them very often, so when I try to water them, I try to like drench them, meaning that get them very wet, and then not worry about them for several days, and then come back and water them again. So that's my theory of watering these plants. But they're all together, they're all weak, they're all propagations, they're all being monitored by me. These mangoes are tropical fruit, so when winter comes, and if it takes roots and if it grows into a mango plant, there's another way for me to keep them outside, not having to bring them inside the house. There's another way to keep them warm, and I can show you how I do it. The leaves will probably fall off and it looks like it's dead, but the following year in the spring it will grow taller. So basically it looks like it's like with tropical plants, it will look like it dies out, but don't throw it away because it will live. And I have multiple mango trees, so I know. None of them are fruiting, none of them are flowering, because sometime when you grow a mango plant or any fruit plants, there's a male and there's a female, and you need the bee to pollinate to make fruit. So if you only have one tree, you might not have enough you might not have fruits. It's not like if you're living in a tropical area, like in a country where mangoes are just growing everywhere, because bees flies around and they pollinate one tree to go to the other ones, and they pollinate your tree, and then therefore at the end of the year you get mangoes or whatever. But if you only have one tree and within a certain amount of distance you don't have another tree for the bee to pollinate, you have to self-pollinate your tree in order for you to have fruit. And it's a whole nother story that you have to literally become a bee and pollinate the fruit yourself. Otherwise you'll be wasting your time to just, you know, self-pollinating your plants yourself, and that's gonna takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, which I don't think anybody want to self-pollinate their own tree. So my thing is, keep your bee happy, don't kill them, and provide them with, you know, enough flower for them to pollinate and be happy, because bees are very important to us humans, and we take them for granted, and we don't take care of nature as we should. Have a good day. I'm gonna go inside now, get ready for dinner.